We got on almost right away this time. Hello, everyone. Diana Rankin here with your psychic predictions and messages, soul messages for the week of. This is the 8th week of the year 2020. Got to pull my calendar over here, and this is the week of the 16th through the 22nd. The 16th through the 22nd. However, today it is Valentine's Day. I always think of this as my mother's birthday, not Valentine's Day. My mother was born on February the 14th. So what we're going to do today is we will get our messages from Phillip. We will also, we'll get Philip's going to answer the question this week of what is romantic love. That's kind of came up as the question for Valentine's Day. So Phillip tells us, what is romantic love? What is its purpose in our life? Then we will get a message from one of my books. It's an oracle book. Each page has a different message, and we just kind of opened it randomly to a page, and we think left page, right page, and we get an answer there. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming back, for telling your friends, for passing the word, for helping us grow and getting the word out that love is more important than anger. Love is more important than fear. So yeah, please spread that word. Okay. For some time, and I haven't expressed this to except for to friends, I haven't expressed this out there. For some time, I have felt that that the only one who can win the presidential election for the Democrats is someone from the Midwest. That said, I'm not sure there's a candidate there that could win. Before President Trump won, I kept telling friends, this is going to be a real surprise. Somebody out of the left is going to come and knock us off our feet. Well, somebody out of the right came and knocked us off our feet. But what I'm still feeling that right now Bernie's the front runner. And I don't think he can he may get the nomination, but I don't think he can win against President Trump. So that said, if you are wanting to see Trump not win the election, look carefully at the candidates. And I think for middle America, it is going to take someone from the Midwest. So I don't have any more information on that. I'm still trying to sort it out myself, but that's what I keep feeling and keep hearing. So anyway. I want to also tell you, I do have an Awakening to Your Deeper Intuition workshop coming up. This is coming up in March, so we do have a few more registrants. We keep this. This is not a huge workshop. I don't allow a lot of people in. It's not that selective. I don't mean to say I sit there and point at you and say you're not allowed in, but it is only for a smaller group. It's not a large group. And so we do have a few more openings. If you're interested, get a hold of me. My website's below, and you can just give me a phone call or get a hold of me. So that's that. Now, what we're going to do is go right into that question, excuse me, that we asked Phillip. Excuse me. What is the purpose of romantic relationships? Welcome those of you who are signing on, by the way. And so we're going to get started and answer that question. What is the purpose of romantic relationships? Okay, here's what he had to say. By the way, before I answer that, I do want to say in this workshop, we do work on meeting our spirit guides. And is it necessary to work with the guide? No, but I like to work with a guide, and I think it helps us. It kind of refines the information that we're getting. Usually, not always, guides come through in a masculine form. They don't necessarily have a name attached to them, but we may give them a name, and I have a lot of stories to tell you about that, but I won't take time right now. But we like to call people by name. And so we assign a name, so to speak. And the reason that it usually comes through as a masculine energy is because the masculine, whoops, sorry, my book fell over here, is because the masculine is the outgoing energy and the feminine is the taking in energy. So not all guides are masculine, but usually what I call the communicator or the main guide, so to speak, is often a teacher that you've had in a former life. Certainly Philip is an old druid teacher I've had more than once. And so it's my honor and my privilege to work with him, and he tells me it's the same. So it is a symbiotic relationship that we're working with, because here in this plane, we are as important to our guides as they are to us. Just a little background there. All right, here's what Philip says about romantic relationships. All relationships have a purpose. One of the highest is the romantic one. This is because of the emotional intensity it brings to the individuals involved. Oh boy, don't we know that. The purpose of this relationship is for the healing of individuals involved, which leads to ancestral healing and the healing of the planet. The romantic relationship begins with an attraction of energy. Some may call this chemistry in your world. So some of us call it chemistry. I think that's the common word in our world. Philip calls it energy. That's okay. This attraction becomes an exchange of energy. This is the meaning of two people seeing one another across the room. This is the story of many books and movies, including your poetic book. I wrote a book about meeting what we would call a soulmate at one time. It's written in poetic form. It's 23 Days of Celtic Journey. And the whole book is written, it's weaved around Celtic mythology. And it's a love story. Let's examine this energy. And that's the book that Philip was referring to, my poetic book. Okay, Philip goes on to say, let's examine this energy, or if you will, this chemistry. This energy between two people is recognized because there is a soul agreement between them. I'm going to just repeat those last words. There is a soul agreement between them. This means they made an agreement between them before they came into human bodies. They made their agreement while still in spirit world. This agreement can take multiple forms. What forms it takes depends on the people what the people involved agree to, and what they each have chosen to do during their incarnation. And during the incarnation is speaking of during this particular life. One agreement may be to learn all each other can about relationships. An agreement may be to have a marriage and raise a family. Another agreement may be to come together only for a short while, to help the individuals through a trying time, or even to break each other's hearts open to greater love. That's a hard one, isn't it? The agreement may be to work through an old argument or pattern from another incarnation. The agreement may be to work together to heal an ancestral pattern. The agreement may be to simply enjoy one another, to reap the benefits of previous incarnations. The attraction to one another comes because you are to be together to fulfill your agreement. This may take a few weeks or a lifetime. The attraction may come out of the womb. Excuse me, I thought I turned my cell phone off. I put it on, I put my cell phone on airplane mode, but I didn't realize that if a text came through, I would still get the beeper. So I've just turned that one off. Okay. Let me repeat that. We come together for the agreement, to fulfill the agreement. And Philip says this may take a few weeks or a lifetime. The attraction may come out of the wound or out of recognition of love shared before. Both are valid. The length of the relationship will depend on the nature of the agreement and its fulfillment. I'm going to repeat those last couple of sentences because I think they're really important. The attraction may come out of the wound or out of the recognition of love shared before. Both are valid. The length of the relationship will depend on the nature of the agreement and its fulfillment. If, for example, The agreement is to help heal an ancestral wound. The relationship may be rocky and not survive after the initial energy surge has waned. However, if the agreement is to heal an ancestral wound and it's dealt with compassion and understanding, the wound may be healed and the lovers may choose to stay together throughout this lifetime. There are many different agreements. We simply use that of ancestral healing as an example. As you can see, the initial attraction comes from an exchange of energy, regardless of whether the recognition comes from the wound to be healed or from the recognition of love shared. The individual must search their hearts to learn of the purpose of their coming together and act accordingly. Whatever the agreement between them, all involved must act in a loving manner with a full heart. And I think that's important, so I'm going to repeat it. Whatever the agreement between them, all involved must act in a loving manner with a full heart. To do anything else is to disavow the agreement, which perpetuates the wound or creates a wound. Either way, it keeps love from being. And then Philip ends his answer by saying, the purpose of romantic love is to add love to the world. I'll repeat that. The purpose of romantic love is to add love to the world. And then, of course, we say thank you, Philip, and Philip says thank you back. Thank you to us. Thank you to each of us for listening. Thank you to us for caring. And welcome from each of you. We've got somebody here from Massachusetts, River, Massachusetts. Good morning. I don't know what the weather is like where you are. I've got very crispy snow outside, and I say crispy because it's crunchy because of the weather. It's very cold out. It was in the single digits last night, and now it's, I think, like 14 degrees or something. It's pretty chilly. So, but it's nothing like I think you're getting in on the East Coast. So let's see what our message is here. This is from one of my books, The Master's Book of the Answer by Phillip. And I'm so glad that you all have come to get this message. Now, we're just going to open. There's where we're going to open to. And we're going to say right page or left page. And I'm hearing, yeah, chilly, but thankfully, I believe the sun is out there. So the right page, and by the way, if you got right page, our intuition's in sync. If you got left page, then that's maybe a private message for you. So you can't really get this wrong. And, you know, a lot of people tell me that they have this book or they're going to get this book. It is available on Amazon. And they tell me that they're always astounded at the answers they get. And I have to tell you, every morning when I sit down, I meditate. After I take care of Daisy, and she's over here sleeping, by the way, on her big bed in the office. After I take care of Daisy and take care of the kitties, I go meditate. And then I start journaling. And one of the things I do in my morning journal is ask Philip for a message. Now, often people will ask the night before for a message. And just, again, you just open up to any page. So our message today, and I'm always surprised myself at, wow, that's exactly the message I needed to get. So our message today is you are not the power, you are the channel through which the power flows. I love that. You are not the power, you are the channel through which the power flows. And I want to relate that to today's message because I think it always does. If we just remember that we've come together with this romantic partner in order to fulfill an agreement that the two of us have, all we have to do is ask that power to work through us, that power of love, whether we're together for a day or a lifetime. Let that power of love work through us. And then we're able to put aside our differences and come to an agreement. We don't have to agree on everything. We just come together with the agreement. So on the left side, if you got left, here's your very specific answer also. Be an answer to the problem, not the problem itself. Be an answer to the problem, not the problem itself. Well, my friends, we here, if you're listening to my voice, if you're catching video. We are here. We have come together because we have lived enough lifetimes that we know how to heal the world. And we do that through love. That's not to say we close our eyes or put our head in the sand, but it is to say that we speak out in love. We actions of love. You know, if it's as simple as going over and picking up your neighbor's mail on an icy day and putting it in his or her door so they don't have to go out, that's an act of love. If it's as simple as smiling at the greeter when you walk into a store, that's an act of love. If it's a romantic relationship and the two of you are at loggerheads, all you have to be able to do is open your heart and look at the other person's viewpoint. You don't have to agree, but the two of you have to be able to hear each other. And then ask yourselves, why did we come together? What is our purpose? What is our soul agreement? Those are acts of love. And we thank you so much for accepting our love from Daisy and the kitties and the two-legged ones here. Thank you. We love you. We receive your love, and we are so grateful for it. Thank you for receiving our love. Thank you for being with us today and telling your friends about us. Until next week, or please check out some of my other videos. We say goodbye with great love. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe.